Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Arun, Senior Consultant Gastroenterologist and Hepatologist. I am practicing myself in Chandra Gastro Liver Clinic and Endoscopic Center in Chennai. And today my area of interest is to discuss with you all about viral hepatitis. As you all know that the World Hepatitis Day is going to be on July 28 this month. Every year by WHO, as per WHO guidelines, World Hepatitis Day will be going on in 28th of July. So why viral hepatitis is so important? Because we are been thinking about right now in India and most part of the world, the entire nation has been completely ruined out by the deadliest pandemic, coronavirus, and our mind will be in frequent thinking only about coronavirus because there are so many other viruses been affecting the human tract, and there are so many other things we are supposed to know. And the hepatitis is one area where most of the people, the knowledge, the awareness is definitely very low, and that is the one thing which will be predisposing to most of the liver problems as the day goes on. Next to that, so what are the various viral infections that can affect the liver? So because viral hepatitis is an entity, is nothing but any infections which is going to involve the liver parenchyma. So if you are going to divide, viral hepatitis is nothing but hepatitis A, B, C, D and E. It's been broadly categorized. So what do you mean by this hepatitis A, B, C, D and E? That is the main area for me to discuss with you all, to the general public, to create basic awareness about viral hepatitis. Because if you are going to take hepatitis A, it is going to be transmitted mainly by the fecal-oral route of transmission. Because, so what do you mean by the fecal-oral route? Suppose if you are going to eat outside food, if you are going for junk foods, if you are going to take unhygienic foods, if you are going for safe, if you are not going to handle any safe sanitation practices, if you are going to take outside water, because this is by enteric mode of transmission, because enterally it is going to be transmitted. So fecal-oral route of transmission, that is a main entity. So hepatitis C, if you are going to think about the hepatitis virus, more than 240 billion, so as of the world data, it's always called as a silent killer because you don't know what is the reason, and as the days goes on, the most of the patient will be succumb because of liver disease. So hepatitis, as I told you, it has been broadly categorized, and so various manifestations will be there. So once the hepatitis A, if you are going to take into an account, so it will be predominantly affecting this children of school going children. So if you are going to affect, suppose if you are going to see any children who is going to get jaundice or some other problems, so usually hepatitis A will be presenting with a flu-like symptom. They may be having mild viral fever, joint pain, lethargy, drowsiness. They may be having fatigability and other mode of presentation. But this kind of viral hepatitis A can even progress to hepatic failure rarely, and even can present like subacute hepatitis. Sometimes some presentation can also be reported. So how to prevent this hepatitis A transmission to happen means, so always you need to have a safe sanitation practices, safe hand hygiene. Always you are supposed to wash your hands well, and next to that avoid eating unnecessary outside foods, and this kind of fecal-oral route of transmission has to be controlled well, and there is good vaccination is there for hepatitis A. And if you are going to take hepatitis E, that is also been similar like hepatitis A, that is also going to be transmitted like hepatitis A. But if you are going to take hepatitis Z, the mortality will be very high, will be almost going up to 10 to 20 to 25% of pregnant women. So hepatitis Z will always be very dangerous if the woman is pregnant. You should be always be very cautious. So so that is also been transmitted by fecal-oral route, and multiple populations among pregnancy, even other population will be affected because of hepatitis E viruses also. And regarding hepatitis B, it is one of the virus which is going for the chronic liver disease, and almost around 2 billion population throughout the world being affected because of hepatitis B viruses. So why we are discussing about hepatitis B virus? It has been transmitted mainly with the blood and blood products. So what do you mean by blood and blood products? Suppose if you are being using unsterile needle in your practice, if you are going to use multiple syringes for one patient and you are going to share the same needle for other patient, and if you are going to do razors, shave raving outside and not practicing a safe sex practice, sexual practices, and next to that, if you are going for homosexual modalities, and if you are being using dialysis, and these are all the way where you are being frequently in contact with blood tubing. So these are all the area where the hepatitis B virus, there is a high mode of transmission. See, once a hepatitis B virus enters into your body, what is going to happen? Most of the patients will not be aware, so they will be having they won't be having any symptoms, and only when you are going to screen yourself, you can able to diagnose whether you are having hepatitis B or other presentations. So hepatitis B can also present like flu-like symptoms, can be having mild fever, lethargy, sometimes you may have jaundice. Jaundice is nothing but yellowish discoloration of skin, as sclera, as well as high colored urine will be there when you're passing. And if the virus is going to be there for a longer time without any symptoms, there is high possibility for you to develop chronic liver disease. What do you mean by chronic liver disease? If the virus is going to harbor in your liver for more than 15 years, 20 years, so what is going to happen? There is high possibility for the liver to go into shrunk out state, nothing but cirrhotic state. As the liver gets cirrhotic, so what is going to happen? You will be losing all your proteins, you will become very thin, you will lose your weight, and sometimes you will be developing multiple complications like ascites. Ascites means fluid may accumulate in your abdominal cavity, and sometimes you will be developing all the complications regarding liver. Sometimes you may land up in hepatic encephalopathy, which is nothing but a brain coma like presentation, and sometimes you may develop upper gastrointestinal bleed and various other manifestations you may develop. At that point of time, you need to hospitalize yourself in intensive care unit, and followed by you need to go for liver transplant if you are going to survive, if you are going to cross that presentation. So liver transplantation, if you are going to consider liver transplant, that is also one more worse scenario, because even then the liver transplant, the modality has been so much advanced in India, but the financial constraints, so many things have been still happening, and post-operative follow-up. To prevent all those things, you need to take care of hepatitis B, because for hepatitis B virus there is a vaccination status, and always you need to screen the mother, because there is one more transmission for hepatitis B regarding vertical mode of transmission, that is through horizontal mode from the mother to the fetus. Even newborn, there is high possibility for the neonate to develop hepatitis B, and around 90% of the patients will be definitely having a newborn babies will be having a high possibility of hepatitis B to develop. And so always you need to screen. So if you are going to donate your blood voluntarily, you need to screen yourself. See, don't think that you have been knowing only about hepatitis HIV viruses. So hepatitis B is also called a silent killer. It is going to harbor in your tract for a longer period of time, and as the days goes on, there is high possibility for you to develop liver failure, cirrhosis, and finally you may land up in hepatocellular cancer, which is one of the very deadliest cancer. So in order to prevent this complication, there is a safe vaccination is available. Always you need to take the vaccination as per the guidelines. Consult your gastroenterologist early if you have any presentation related to jaundice. And regarding hepatitis C virus, that is also one more viral entity which is being transmitted mainly by the blood and blood products, like what I've been discussed with you regarding hepatitis B virus. See, if you are going to take hepatitis C, the possibility of it won't present like an acute onset of presentation, but most of the time it will be going for a chronicity. And throughout the world, in India, almost around 1.2 to 1.5 to 2% of the population is being being diagnosed with hepatitis C virus as of now. And there are so much of modalities of treatment available now. Once you have been diagnosed with hepatitis B viruses or hepatitis C virus, there are so many modalities of treatment if you are going to be diagnosed in the earliest stage before the cirrhosis sets in. And if you are suppose even if you are going to have hepatitis C virus, either we will be going for multiple viral modalities of treatment which we can offer for the patient around 8 weeks, or sometimes for 12 weeks, or sometimes for 6 months, or even for years will be needed depending upon your clinical presentation. So hepatitis B virus and hepatitis C virus can be treated well if it is going to diagnose early, and you are supposed to be in a continuous follow-up with the gastroenterologist, and the basic monitoring of your liver function status, the clinical assessment. So how to diagnose all these hepatitis? Because you will be wondering that what is the modality to diagnose hepatitis viruses. So a simple blood test will diagnose all the hepatitis virus. Hepatitis A, B, C, D, E, you can easily diagnose through a simple blood test, and with that simple blood PCR test, you can identify the virus in the early phase, and you can go for the prevention as well as for the treatment. So if you want to prevent the deadliest viral infection to happen in your tract, you need to screen yourself early, and you need to take care of safe blood practices and food handling practices and safe sanitation practices and sharing razors and other things, safe sexual practices. Everything has to be taken into account in a proper way. So you need to screen early to prevent the viral hepatitis to develop. As you all know that the World Hepatitis Day theme in 2020 is nothing but hepatitis free future. So if you want to enhance that, screen yourself early and detect yourself early and save the liver from the deadliest complications to prevent a chronic liver disease, fulminant hepatic failure, and the chances of developing hepatocellular dangerous cancer. So if at all, if you are going to screen comfortably at a early point, and you can able to prevent the most dreadful complications in your life. Thank you all. Thank you.